this penthouse in Manhattan. They just asked me to come in and sing some whatever. Like they had this Grammy Award winning pianist playing, and he was playing all these songs, but I didn't know the words. So he's like, bro, just sing whatever you want to sing. I was like, all right, cool. So I just started freestyling. But then this designer from Indiana, he gives me these glasses. He's like, I was like, yo, those are dope glasses. He gives me a pair of glasses. I'm like, all right, cool. He gives them to me right off his face. He's like, he takes them off his face. He's like, I like you. He's like, yeah, take these. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then I lost the glasses at the nightclub. And then I go to my mom's store and she got the exact same pair of glasses.
That's wow.
Exact same pair of glasses. So I'm like, all right, cool. This
the universe be listening, bro.
Yo, I've been wanting these for.
You ever when the last time you talked to the artist, the dude?
I didn't speak to that brother in a bit.
Yeah.
I think he went back to Indiana. But I have been working with that pianist like every Monday night. So it's been good vibes. It's been really good vibes. I just gotta figure that out. I'm not entirely sure where these relationships are going. I'm just accepting and being open to everything.
Nah, no lie. You make some connections and sometimes it be a one-off, bro.
Yeah.
Sometimes it be a one-off, but you gotta learn from it. I feel like you learn from every connection too. I'm
trying to be more honest and open about my own energy and what I'm willing to accept and what I'm not really willing to accept. I feel like so often, like, I get into this people-pleasing mode where I'm like, oh, like, yeah, of course, I love it, yeah. But then sometimes it's just like I don't even necessarily want to be bothered. And not in a rude or mean type of way. But I, like, put on the front to meet the other person's expectations as opposed to meeting my own and what I want or what I need. And being more straightforward. And I feel like those have been able to, like, I've been able to, like, weed out those one-off connections and then being able to establish real bonds. Like, I realize I don't talk to people on the phone and or hear their voice or something like that. And then the connection kind of fades or whatever. And then I hear from them and I hear their voice and I'm like, all right, it kind of snaps something into me when that connection is real. Like, I'm not annoyed by it. I'm like, I'm excited. I'm genuinely happy. Like when you hit me up, you told me you was moving. I was happy.
Man.
I was happy.
I was happy too. You know what I mean?
So it's like I look for those connections where it's like I can mutually be happy for somebody and like really relish in their success and that their success inspired me.
Yeah, facts.
You know,
facts.
so like I'm really at that point where I'm just like I want to be inspired, and I don't have time for lackluster connections.
That's a fact.
I need something that's going to spark my soul, and it doesn't necessarily have to involve me. I want to be someone else's big cheerleader because it gives me something to believe in.
You know, that's exactly the whole premise of my podcast, bro. Because you know, it was never about me, bro.
Yeah.
It was always about putting somebody else on, bro. And I say that to say, we jumped right into this, and we didn't even get your name or nothing. Like, you just went straight to the glasses, like. But it's organic though, so I like that though.
Yeah,
but,
I'm just talking to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Like, I found myself like asking myself, what am I doing this for? And also like kind of running from it in a sense. Like, one, I'm terrified of doing this shit alone. Wholeheartedly. Like, it's just me in the crib by myself and it's just my thoughts.
That goes back to my podcast. Like, I did not want to be on screen by myself, so I always had, you know what I mean? Like,
I'd be looking for other artists to pull up next to me.
Yeah, like I knew I was like a good like conversationalist just based on what people like tell me.
Yeah.
And it took me a while for myself to understand, like, yo, I can have conversations with literally anybody, bro.
Yeah.
And that's how the whole podcast came about, and look at it now. I mean,
bro, I'm happy you picked it back up.
And you know what's crazy? You was honestly the first person that I didn't know before the podcast that was on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah, cause
I
was my first episode.
Yeah.
Then I had Brandon was number 2 and my boy Ron was number 3.
Okay.
You was number 4, and I didn't know you before. Like, we met on pure happenstance, bro, and it was organic, bro.
I mean, when I saw you, I saw like when I saw you just holding your passion.
Yeah, I don't know where I was coming from that day. I'm still trying to remember, bro.
But the way you were holding your camera, he's like, I'm not letting this joint go.
Oh yeah, nah.
I can relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we all see everybody we meet is like a reflection of ourselves.
Yeah.
Like that's what we connect to, is the things that we can relate to. And when I saw you with the camera and how you held it, I lost my camera. My camera was stolen from me. And the way you was holding on to that baby, I was like,
yeah. You gotta remember, we in Far Rock, like,
exactly,
you know what I mean?
Exactly, bro.
You know what I mean? I honestly didn't want to break it down and put it in the bag, so I was like, let me just carry the whole joint. And then you like, it's a red camera. I'm like, no. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, somebody I know the worth. Somebody I know the worth of what it is. Like,
yeah.
Because if it was a red cam, that shit was gonna stay in the car for the night.
Put it in the bag, put it in the trunk like that.
Yeah. I'm not walking, nah. And I only lived on the second floor at the time.
Still, you make it down real quick.
That's a fact. That's a whole fact, bro.
Nah, it's been getting wicked out there, for real.
I heard somebody got shot out there, I heard.
Right
recently.
outside the building?
Yeah, my mom's told me. Because my mom's was up here Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom's came up here Friday.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
How'd she like it? How'd she like the house?
She's here. Like, she's here, bro. I promise you. She comes up as often as she can.
Might as well change that room to hers.
It's her. She's actually coming up the beginning of May.
Okay, nice. I'm back.
My crib is open, bro. Like, especially for family, bro. Like,
I'm back at the beginning of May for Eid with my family.
Yeah,
I'll definitely pop out.
I said I'll be out here, nigga. Where the fuck I'm gonna be at? Yeah, for sure, bro.
But that shooting, it really like. It shook up the whole neighborhood. Honestly, everybody's been talking about it. It's like the only topic that everybody talks about.
I can imagine, bro.
Right in front of the complex.
In front of our building, or?
No, like, you know where we met?
Yeah.
Right there.
Damn.
And brother was young. They shot him in the head. 5 shots rang off. Like 6 or 7 shots rang off in front of the building. And then another 6 or 7 rang off on the side of the building.
And this happened in the morning, in the night, what?
It happened normally during my cigarette time. So like around 3 o'clock, I normally walk to like 5-4 because it's open 24/7. I walk to 5-4. I go get a cig because I'm still working on my music. And I was in the process of recording. I wasn't really doing anything heavy. And then I like hit pause. It's funny because I hit pause. It's the moment I hit pause. Gang, 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 gang. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? Because I'm getting ready to go out and get my stuff. And it just it's quiet out there. You know it's quiet. Yeah, it got extremely quiet. Like you ain't hear nothing. You ain't hear a pin drop. I could hear my thoughts like out loud. It was like it was speaking. And I was just
crazy,
like,
bro.
I get outside the following morning. There's no trace of it. It's like as if it never happened. And then one of my neighbors, he's a really talented artist. He's like, yo, be safe out there. XYZ happened. He's like, somebody got robbed at the train. He's like, yo, bro, somebody got shot last night right in front of our building, right in front of the complex, and just to be safe. And it sparked this whole like Stop the Violence initiative, which is amazing. I'm really happy that
especially they got the what used to be the firehouse that's right there. It's like the community center now.
But now they got something else for about this. I got the brother's card. His name is Virgil something. But it's called Stop the Block or Stop the Fight or something else like that. And it's they hang out these flyers and they're telling us to encourage each other, telling us to encourage Black men to encourage each other, telling families to encourage their children, telling these boys that they are important, that they're magic, that they mean something. And that's all I've been trying to do in my music. Like legit, like it's just to remind people how valuable they really are.
So has since then your lyrics changed a little bit based on that?
I haven't even found myself being able to write.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've been taking I haven't been able to write music. I've been writing poetry and connecting with different other parts of art.
Yeah.
I really want to get into more activist work. And as much as like I love the music, I don't feel like it's appropriate when I know I could be doing something else. Like when I did the Rock the Block Foundation and I performed Bleed in Snow, somebody got shot like that same night, that same day. right after that big event. It's like 300, 400, 500 people, and we celebrating life and love and all this other stuff. And then everybody gets home, and we all get the notification around the same time. And it's on Facebook.
Somebody that was at the event?
Somebody's at the event. Live not too far away. Probably just seen me perform.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I haven't really, there's a bunch of things that I haven't been writing. I haven't really been feeling anything. And that was the first time I felt something in a long time. And normally I write about love, or I write about, I mean, not even necessarily love, but the loss of connection, or the lessons that I learned from love.
Yeah.
And now it's like I want to write about something more, like something that's going to help, because it's not enough to just kind of witness it and not do more.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like we all could do it just a tad bit more. And hopefully, like, maybe it inspires my music, but honestly, I just hope that it helps somebody else. I've been spending more time at the 5-4 promoting myself, honestly. Like, hanging up flyers around the neighborhood. I've been hanging up flyers all around New York. I've been on the train, like, because, like, at this point, I ain't really got nothing to
What's
lose.
the flyers for your, like, performance, or, like, to your social media, for your website?
For my website. So I just relaunched the website. I do all this stuff myself, like, all the kind of, like, the code and the
best way to do it
and everything else like that. So it took me some time to kind of, like, honestly, it took me no time. It took me no time to do it. I prolonged doing it, and I think, honestly, I think delays are a gift from God, for real. Like, I used to beat myself up, like, oh man, I'm lazy, I ain't doing it. And then some spark hits me, and I'm like, all right, that's why you told me to wait. So I feel appreciative of the delays at times. But now I really just did my website, because I want to get into these music festivals and stuff like that.
Yeah, I seen you just applied for your first one. Yeah, I'm paying attention.
Yeah, brother.
Which one is it?
The Edgewater Music Festival. It's in somewhere in the UK.
Oh, so you gonna fly out to it? When is it?
It's July.
Oh, you got
It's July 10th, actually.
What's the process for, like, being accepted into that?
I'm still figuring that out. I mean, I'm finding it out as I go along. Right now, I'm on a waiting list. I'm on, like, several waiting lists all across Europe. My goal is, honestly, like, an international fan base. I feel like they appreciate music a bit more. And
they're more, for lack of a better word, they're more radical. Like, they're more stick behind their artists than Americans.
I mean, even with like some of the artists that I look up to from the UK, I feel like their lyrics are just, when it comes to, like, singing. Like, I love, like, Daly, I love Jessie Ware, I love Sampha.
Dope.
I love Yasmin Green. But I feel like they really write in-depth songs. And I feel like here in America, our attention spans are so short with the mainstream, in the mainstream.
Yeah, I don't even listen, honestly, to too much mainstream music, because I personally know already too many talented people, like, whether it be for all genres, actually.
For sure.
So I really don't need the mainstream. Like,
honestly, I think the mainstream serving us.
Yeah, I listen to it, but I don't consume it. I should say. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll listen to a song, but then it's like, okay, one and done. Yeah. And then the songs that I got on repeat is usually, like, people that I know, or more underground type.
I feel
vibes.
Like I'm, like, hooked on this artist right now. She's a friend of mine. I met her at a performance. Her name is Phantom Vibes, and she has this. She has this song.
Was it you that sent me? I think you sent, or you might have posted her or something like that.
I love her, bro.
Yeah, I did. I have been listening to her too.
She's amazing, and she works hard. She inspires me. But she has this song. Damn, what's the name of the song? Not the Thank You Universe. Is it Vibes? I gotta remember the name of it. But I have it on repeat. I have it on repeat, and, like, I mean, I try to listen to as many different genres as possible. I didn't necessarily grow up with music at my fingertips, and so I would always just kind of listen to whatever was around.
Yeah,
like, you know, like I started with like, you know, TV and movies and stuff like that. I mean, you could name a soundtrack and put on any movie, and I'll probably start singing the songs from it. Like, it don't matter if it's a country western or something.
For me, it was video games, and that's why I'm into a lot of rock music.
Ah, I dig that.
That's why,
I dig that.
Yeah, because video games is the music that's in video games is a lot
Burnout
different.
3 is probably my favorite video game soundtrack. It has the song.
Fact.
I heard that sound a mile away.
Yeah,
I can listen to that now without the game or nothing. I can just play it.
That's how it is for me. Like, that's definitely how it is for me.
That's
bro.
smooth. I didn't even, yo, can I tell you?
Video games, bro. And I'm an old school movie head, so like I get a lot of my old school music from the old school movies that I watch.
Okay, like what? Like what movie?
My favorite old school movie is something that my friend put me on. It's The Mac.
Ah, you ain't no motherfucking Ron O'Neal.
Yeah, the Mac is my shit, but
Goldie.
It's Goldie, Said, now listen, now we can solve this like some gentlemen, or we can get into some gangster shit. That's one of my favorite movies,
Curtis
bro.
Mayfield went off on that damn soundtrack.
Yeah,
he went off on that soundtrack.
And the original Ocean's 11.
I still haven't seen any Ocean's movie. Oh my God. Not a single Ocean's
Sammy
movie.
Davis Jr., bro.
I'm gonna check it out now.
Original Ocean's 11, bro.
I'm gonna check it out now because like
fire.
For me it was what really kind of got me into like older music was Baby Boy, and I mean it's funny because you know
it's
the
like
JoDN.
It's like the classic music fact.
But nah, it's this song. I mean, you got the Summer Madness with Kool and the Gang.
Yeah.
Wishing on a Star, Rolls Royce.
Fire.
Probably one of my favorite songs of all time. I hate when people sample it because I feel like they never do it the justice that it deserves because I feel like that is the pinnacle of soul, of feeling. And I just relate to the words. And that kind of brought me into like, I love disco now. I love like the 70s scene.
I listen to this, I can't remember the name of the channel on YouTube, but every month they drop the deep house music.
You know you need to send me that. You know you need to send me that.
Yeah, I definitely got you. I'm gonna leave a link in the bio too.
But I love house music. So I went to this warehouse party a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I do this jam session every Thursday called That House Party though.
Yeah.
I love them. They're great. And they partnered up with this DJ, this group or whatever. And the party went to like 6 a.m. Nothing but house music. I don't think anybody's ever seen me dance in person because I don't tend to do so.
same way,
lock
bro.
it down. But when they saw me dancing to house music, so I used to, they like lost their mind. They were like, ooh. And they were watching my feet, and they're like, "God damn, what the fuck?" I used to bounce at this nightclub in Lower East Side, and they would always have this like famous DJ. I still don't know. I gotta look the brother up, but his name is Dennis Ferreira. And every time he walk in, they'd be like, "Oh, this Dennis Ferreira!" Oh. And then like everybody would come in with their like white shoes on, and they would just dance. And I'm like, I never saw people just dance like. It was always like a bump and grind or a pop and lock or something.
What happened to me one time? I was still in New York at the time. I was driving. I was actually going to Green Acres Mall. I remember this shit. I remember it so vividly.
Green Acres.
Yeah, I was going Green Acres, and you know that route. That I take the back route. I don't take the Snake Hill route. So
the Five Town way.
I take the Juville way. So no disrespect to my Jews, but
I get it.
I'm driving, I'm playing house music, and for some reason I have my windows down. I'm just jamming. Get to a red light. I look over, it's just this white lady just staring at me. I just look at her, I gave her a nod, and she was like, "You like that?" I was like, "I love it." Now I rolled my windows up and drove off, bro.
Honestly, like,
and then I started to track over because I was really into it.
I feel like they whitewash house music.
Yeah.
With the audience, and I feel like it definitely originated.
House music is a vibe, bro.
Yo, I want to make more house music. That's my goal. I feel like when I made You Love Me though, and everybody's like, "Yo, it's more pop," or it's R&B, and I'm like, I feel house. I feel like a whole different sound. I mean, maybe there's definitely some soul elements in it, some R&B elements in it, but I feel like it was more of a house track than anything. And that's what I was really inspired by. It's more so like the records that I used to listen to at those parties that I used to.
So that was the last song that you released?
Last song that I released in 2021. I haven't put out any music in 2022 just yet.
So you got some unreleased stuff that
I'm just sitting on right now.
Mhm.
I got.
So you working on a project, or you still working? Or you still just waiting for the right time to release those?
Honestly, the singles were created in mind of a project.
Mhm.
I mean, unintentionally, of course.
Yeah.
But when I started to write and make the songs,
Yeah.
and I don't necessarily write the songs down. I don't go like this and like listen to the beat or whatever.
Just be in the studio and
I just get on the mic and I start shooting melodies out, whatever I got on my heart, whatever I got on my mind. It's the same thing I do at these venues when I'm freestyling, but it gives me a bit more time to sit with it. Like when I get off stage at one of these jam sessions that's improv, I always kind of wish I could go back to that sound that I just had going and then really put words to it. They always kind of stress me like, yo, put words to it, put words to it, put words to it. And it's like I can't necessarily articulate what I'm feeling or how I'm feeling, but the sound that comes out, there's always like bits and pieces of words, like little puzzle pieces that I go back to find. Sometimes it comes out right away and it's like full words and full thoughts, and other times it takes a little bit longer. Like Bleeding Snow, I had the chorus and the hook. Had the chorus and the hook. Like I mean, the first verse and the chorus, the hook, or whatever the fuck. I don't. It's part that repeats.
Yo.
I mean, cause like, yo, listen, I don't. When it comes to like the structure of music, I'm just like, it is what it is. Like I kind of just say whatever I feel. But I had that part maybe 6 months before I had the second half of the song, or 7 months before I had the second half of the song, and a part of me was like, why can't I figure it out? Why can't I figure it out? Why can't I figure it out? And then eventually I just started blurting out stuff. And after I sat with it for a while, it all started to make sense. It took me a little bit more time to really articulate what I was feeling, or what word was I trying to say, or what was I there in the moment. And then sometimes there's a lot of songs that I do have that, or projects that I started and didn't finish. Because I didn't necessarily feel the same, or I couldn't connect to that feeling anymore. Like I had evolved past whatever I was feeling at the time.
Those are dope moments though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I still hold on to them. Those are my little precious gems.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they'll come back around.
Those are definitely dope moments. Yeah.
I think that's where the magic is made.
Yeah, of course.
It's like in that split second.
Those random sessions.
And it don't have to be perfect neither.
Yeah.
Like I feel like with I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I am. Like I'm the type of dude that runs Mortal Kombat combos for like 6 hours until I get the move down perfectly. Like I'm a perfectionist, you know.
So what you play instruments too, right?
I'm learning. I'm learning. Actually when I was a kid, it's funny because like I used to sneak and do music. So my mom I never bring like the stuff I had from school back home, except for like my drumsticks. I had those. But the first instrument I learned how to play was a recorder, like every New York City kid.
Of course, bro.
And then the second instrument I learned when I moved to Jersey, I lived in East Orange for a bit, was the xylophone. It was as random as it is.
Yeah, it is.
That was
shit is dope though.
It was a lot of fun. And then I skipped into the drums. I actually never had the opportunity to play on a real drum. I would play on my textbooks. Someone gave me drumsticks and
Oh, yeah, of course. We always playing on a textbook. The math one has the best sound.
Thank you.
The math textbooks, bro.
Yo, the thick covers right there.
Yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Pure cardboard, bro.
But I'm dying to learn guitar. Like, and it is testing my will and my patience and my hands, of course. But it's like, even if my mind, like all I do when I go out and watch instruments and live musicians is I watch their hands. My approach to life is if I could see it, if I see it, then I could do it.
Yeah, I just caught myself watching a lot of like piano videos and shit. And
bro, you imagine you sit in front of it and you'll just start feeling it. You get me? And that's my approach to guitar. Is like I see it, I can do it, And then when I get there, the guitar is not like a piano or a drum, or like I used to love that drum line when Nick Cannon is like watching slow motion, and that's how my brain kind of breaks down some of these musicians when I'm watching them. But also there's muscle memory, and there's practice, and there's training, and I'm so accustomed to things coming easy to me. Like football came easy to me. I never really, I mean, I didn't think I could sing before, but I felt like I was always singing. So like I didn't have to think about learning how to sing and now that I'm at this stage where it's like, I just want to be better. And not for anybody else or anything. I want to see what I'm capable of doing. So the guitar is challenging me, because every time I'm like, oh, I can't do it. But then I'm like, nah, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do it again, because my hand won't have the strength to hold the bar, or my fingers get sore, or the blisters, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do it. I put it down for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I pick it back up, and I'm like, oh wow. Like, oh snap!
Start getting right back into it.
Yeah, and then keys. I feel like keys are a lot easier. I only have like the small MIDI.
Yeah.
But learning how like music theory and how music works is easier on the keyboard than it is on a freaking guitar, where you can't press down the thing.
Yeah.
So I'm finding myself gravitating more towards the ease of piano and keys. But because my uncle was this amazing guitarist, and that's always been my life goal, is to be able to play some of his songs, you know, and be able to play it.
So he wrote songs.
He wrote songs. Dope. He played in Woodstock. So Richie Havens is my great uncle, and I was never really allowed to listen to music as a kid. So we never really had like CDs or anything else like that. His CD was the first one I ever owned. I saw him in about 2002 or 3 at B.B. King's House of Blues. My younger brother and I were excited because I had been messaging him on via email, and email wasn't that big at the time. We were just like getting comfortable with AOL and everything else like that.
That was advanced back then.
Yeah, so I was surprised that he actually was responding. This man is in like his 50s, 60s at the time. So I was surprised that he was responding. So we were excited to see the show. And I'm watching him up on that stage. He had an amazing opening act. Raul Midon is one of my favorite artists to this day, a blind guitarist. And his lyrics are so heartfelt. So I didn't know what I was in for when I saw my uncle. And this man would play. You would lose the sight of his hand from the motion of how fast he was strumming the guitar. And I remember watching him pop the guitar string. He popped his little E string. I didn't know it was an E string at the time, but he pops the E string. And I'm thinking like the bases of his song are like at the top. He's just still going. Like nonstop. He didn't even phase. He wasn't phased by the pop of the string. He just kept going. And then at the end of the show, you know, like he's got all these people waiting to see him. And he's like, nah, he's like, my nephew. And he's like, my nephew's been dying to see me. And he pulls us back to the VIP section and we get to sit with him and talk for a bit before he like went to check on his adoring fans. But I thought it was so cool watching him play the guitar, and then to see how down to earth he was, and he was a family man. I mean, my mom loves to tell the story about how he was on the road for shows, and there was the week of my parents' wedding, and he came all the way off the road back to New York to see my parents get married. And I thought, you know, that's the type of artist I want to be. That's the type of musician I want to be, is, you know, someone who puts family first. And then also loves the music to the point where nothing else matters. Even if there's a break in the string or, you know, the show's delayed, he just kept going. And he toured for years, like his entire life. And I always aspired to that. So when the first CD I ever had was his Here Comes the Sun CD, or I think that was the name of it. I used to swear that was his song too. I swore he wrote that song. I didn't realize it was a cover. But the way he sang it, it spoke to me more than anybody else I've ever heard.
That happens sometimes, with especially with covers.
This is